Ajá. Vale.
Sí.
Ah, goodness. Thank you. Some reason I don't hear you.
Oh, I didn't say anything.
Okay, now I hear sound. Great. Well, when I'm done, when we're done together, then you're most welcome to or something. I'll let you know. I'll speak it up for you. Carla just sent me a message directly, Jennifer. That's asking if she could ask a question. Something new. Something new, it feels like.
Mhm. Something shifted in the last week since the retreat.
Yeah. Thanks, Jennifer. Okay, Carla, welcome to speak.
Hello, everybody. Happy
Hi,
Easter.
Carol. Thank you.
I'm the first time here because I'm in hospital and have plenty of time.
Oh,
Enjoyed the feeling of being connected with all of you. And I was sitting and just watching my feelings and my thought, my waiting. Somebody would say something. And my question is, if I'm not the thinker of my soul, who is thinking? That keeps me busy.
yeah. In a similar direction, breathing is happening. In a similar direction, breathing is happening. And how we speak is we say, I'm breathing. But if we really notice, we can see breathing just happens by itself. We don't really do it. Correct? And the same thing with this whole bodying activity. I mean, trillions of cells, so many processes going on. We don't do it. It's just happening, yeah?
But where do they come from? I mean, they're concerned about my life, my person. So they can't just be in the universe.
Yeah, so there's some fun little things you can play with. And just, like, because we've grown up with this idea that I'm thinking. But we can do a little test and just for 1 minute, don't think a thought. And notice if thinking continues. What do you notice? Does thinking continue or does it stop?
I wish they would stop.
I understand. So it doesn't stop, yeah? Yeah. So you can see that it's not something you're doing, it's something that's happening. And then your next question comes up, and who's doing it? So same question is who's breathing? Who's running the show, so to speak? And there, I mean, I don't know if there's an answer. Who's doing the whole universe? Some people like to go in the direction of projecting that it's God, or some intelligence, but we don't really know, actually. So when you first spoke, you spoke about noticing thoughts and different things. Just as an experiment, if you would like to play, whatever comes up, there's awareness of. So that awareness must be here, but usually it's overlooked. Usually we're busy with the content of awareness. We're busy with what's coming up in awareness, what we feel, what we see, what we think. But the awareness itself goes unnoticed. So for a moment, just like exploring, what is that awareness? It's here, it has to be here. And I don't know if we can answer the question, what is it? But just that we're inquiring, just like shifting attention, that there's something here in which, similar to when you show a movie, we see the movie, we don't usually notice the screen. Maybe at the end of the movie, we notice it all. But what is that screen or that awareness in which everything is appearing in? Because in that awareness, time appears, matter, thought, energy, the whole universe, in fact, yes? It's all appearing in that awareness. This body activity, this idea of my body, everything is appearing in that awareness. And then, without awareness here, we couldn't register anything. No sight, no hearing, no smell, no taste, no touch, no thought, no emotion. And just when you explore a little bit that awareness, what can we say about it? Is it possible to say anything about it? But actually not. We can't say where it begins or ends. Other than here, yeah. But the moment our attention starts to just rest, I would say, at its source, because to me that's the source from where everything comes. Something interesting can get noticed. Just tell me what you notice when you're just including awareness in this moment.
There is a longing to grab it.
Yeah. And we can't, yeah? I mean, it's the longing to grab it. We can notice that longing to grab it. And that longing is also appearing in awareness.
Drives me crazy.
But it's also interesting then to look at the sense of me, because that sense of me disappears every day on a regular basis. When we go to deep sleep, that sense of me is gone. Maybe in dream state there's a sense of me, and in waking there's a sense of me, but in deep sleep everything is gone. There's nothing. No problem, nothing. And then waking up happens, and an activity starts up. Where am I? What's going on? Oh, I'm in hospital. Oh, what's happening? So that activity kind of locates us in time and space. Gives us some sense of orientation. If someone has dementia or Alzheimer's, that activity stops. And they really don't know where they are. They don't know who you are. They don't know anything anymore. Yeah, that activity of context and memory is gone.
Who am I? I had an anesthesia, narcose, and I
Yeah,
was.
when we get
Where am I? For whom am I?
Yeah, like when like the same thing. We say I go to sleep, but where do we go? Or where are we? Deep sleep is happening. Or in narcosis. So that no thing or nothing, we say nothing, but really it's no thing, there's nothing, no thing.
But there's also no consciousness.
Yes, not even consciousness. Beyond consciousness. And yet the body continues to breathe. The blood continues, the heart continues to pump. Life is still there, yeah? Just the senses are dormant, they're not active, so we don't see, or, like hearing might happen, but it doesn't really register. But, like maybe if there was a loud noise, then it might wake us up. Huh? So the senses are still there, but they're not active, they're dormant, yeah? And no sense of time, no sense of need, no sense of anything. And then waking state happens, the senses become active, and we start getting information through the senses. Yeah? Now, that information that comes in through the senses is usually filtered through our conditioning and whatever old trauma we carry. Then an interpretation happens of the sensations, but the sensations of now we can't actually describe. But the habit, you could say, of interpretation happens, and that gives us a sense of me, and also a sense of the universe that we live in, because everybody kind of lives in a different universe, depending on that interpretation process, yeah? But nobody is actually doing that. That's just a result of conditioning and the old trauma. Yeah? So in some ways, we can say that our perception is a waking dream, because interpreted, yeah, it's not just the sensations of the moment. If we really look, we cannot describe the sensations of this moment, and we don't really know what's going on. But yet there's a conditioning to try to know what's going on, and then to think we know what's going on, when in fact we don't. So it doesn't matter who we are. All anybody has is the sensations of this moment. Doesn't matter if you're a billionaire or sleeping on the street, you only have the sensations of the moment. And then usually the automatic interpretation.
Interpreted by the mind, so the mind.
Through, we can say the mind, but really when we use words, like we use the word mind, if we really look, for me, if there's no thought, there's no mind. Mind is just thinking, that's all it is. There's no something that we can call a mind. It's just thought. If you operate on someone, you will never find a mind. So, memory is a thought. We look how accurate memory is, we can see it's just so subjective, yeah. So what we have are the sensations of this moment, and then how most expressions of life that we call people function is from the perspective of, I don't like the sensations I'm having, and I'm not going to be happy until I have the sensations I want. So there's a rejection of the only thing that we have, the sensations of the moment, in favor of an idea of what will make us happy. Now, who would do that consciously? Because that's suffering indefinitely, forever, yeah? Rejecting the only thing we have in favor of an idea.
Sorry, excuse me, the
No
nurses.
problem. You're welcome. Take care. Or you can come again when she's done. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks.
Könnt ihr mal vorangucken?
Oh, okay. I'm curious what that conversation will be, how she explains to the nurse what she's looking at.
Yes,
Oh,
thank
yeah.
you. Hi, Isaac. Hi, everyone. Thank you for this beautiful explanation again. And in what I saw in the night, you know, my father passed away, and system is in a grief and mourn, yeah. And in connection with this, I could see, yeah, it's a very early pattern or something like this. I was in a kind of symbiosis with him, and this is maybe something was so makes so heavy now, yeah, yeah, to the system. And yeah, very early I had a twin, and I lost the twin, and so yeah, maybe there's any kind of connection. And so I like to ask you to sit with me for a while, because I have very I can't express it, so because this is so early stuff, yeah. So sensations in the body is very tense and everything, yeah. Sorry, but I can't express it.
No problem. But for me, it's like, just to keep it really simple, Anka, when there's sensations that have some sense of not being at peace, not being at ease, almost always there'll be an automatic, unconscious resistance, wanting different sensations, wanting to find a solution.
Mm.
So let's just put that under the
Mm.
under resistance, some movement to get away from. So just seeing if we can make a distinction between just the sensations and any movement of resistance.
Mm.
Because the resistance isn't anything you're doing, it's automatic and unconscious.
Yes.
But the cost of that movement, of that automatic unconscious movement, is quite big.
Mm.
So we're
Yes.
just looking to see. So there's sensations. And then oftentimes how the resistance shows up will be emotions, which is literally a movement to get away from sensation.
Mm.
And because the emotions are loud, because they not only the initial sensation, they also that movement entangled with it, so loud. And then usually thoughts. And then very often thoughts about what we need to do to solve it or fix it or change it, all in a matter of an instant that all comes together like that.
Yes.
And it seems to function the same way in all of us.
Mm.
It's not personal.
Mm.
So now we just to see, okay, the sensations here now. Way before it becomes an emotion, way before it becomes a thought.
Mm. It's a sensation in the heart area and also in the solar plexus.
Mhm. Yeah. And just the sensations themselves. Is it easy just to let them be, or does something immediately moves, wants it to be different?
In connection with you, it's easier to be with this sensation.
Easier, yeah.
Yeah, it's easier. And if I'm alone, then it's a strong tendency to.
Yeah. So let's just take this moment, just where it's easier, just to let them be. No, we're not trying to solve anything. We're not trying to get anywhere. We're not even trying to be with the sensations. We just notice that there are sensations.
Mhm.
And somehow the entanglement of wanting it to be different is quieter or not as pronounced or whatever in this moment. And so even at a physical level, just tuning into where anything in the nervous system that's trying to contain these sensations or control them or
Mhm.
not let them free. Just free to be whatever they are. Now something interesting is happening. Just tell me what you notice.
It's become a little bit more warm, and it's also much easier to be with this.
Mhm. And then there's a sense of the you that's with it also start to get quieter or less separation between you and the sensation. You know, when there's a you that's with the sensation, there's a split, there's a you and the sensation, yeah.
Mhm.
And so when that quietens down, then there's just, yeah, that sense of being with something also starts to fall away. And sometimes that can feel a little bit disorienting because we're not used to that. Yeah? We're used to like being, we're
Yes.
used to a movement that produces a me, you could say.
Or used to think or
Yeah, something.
think about it also.
Yeah.
Mm.
Breathing is happening,
Mhm.
heart is beating,
Mhm.
body is bodying.
Yes. Mhm.
Universe is universing.
Mhm. Mhm. And all this is happening in awareness.
Resistance is happening in awareness, making everything, all activity.
Mhm.
But where does one sensation start and another one end? You know, like that? Are they, in fact, distinct sensations, or you know, is it like an incredible orchestration of information? Yeah, just
Yes. Yes.
it's, yeah, because you know we somehow we get into this thing of naming and oh that's this and this and but really it's just like a tapestry or a symphony.
Mhm. Mhm. So it's passing through, yeah. And
Absolutely.
yeah,
Always.
yes, always. But sometimes it's stuck, yeah. And
So it's not stuck. All that happens is an automatic unconscious movement that thinks it knows what's going on and thinks it knows what would be more comfortable or think it knows how it should be or some interpretation of, oh, this is sadness and I'm grieving and it's because my dad died or it's because of something, you know, like having been bonded very deeply at a young, I mean, it's like we hear, you can see that it's just interpretations. I mean, when I say just, they're interpretations, not more, not bad, not good, not bad, just automatic, you could say. Like that's
yes.
how it functions on the human level. There's this
It's
thinking,
yeah.
yeah, thinking we know what's going on, and actually, it's just like many sensations, all like a huge orchestra, which we just pick up. Something picks out certain notes or flavors or scents to focus on, make it mean something.
Mm.
Interesting that, yeah. And
Yeah.
it's not something we do consciously. It's like, now I'm going to, now I'm going to focus on this interpretation and feel terrible for a little bit and then work on feeling different. All of that happens automatically and consciously, but
Yes, that's incredible. Mm. Mm.
but in this moment, just now, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
at this
fresh, yeah.
moment, it's in the heart area is nothing to feel.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that it
yeah,
doesn't matter. Yeah.
yeah. And then if I ask you, think of your dad now. Just watch where your attention goes. I mean, what is your dad? Does it go to a memory? Does it go to a picture? Does it go to a smell? Does it go to, what does it go to? An archetype? What's it? Because what is your dad?
Right now,
Is he a memory? What is he?
it's right now. It's a memory.
A memory. And made up, what's that memory made up of?
Mm. It's the same if your picture with fire. Yeah? Can the
Mhm.
picture of fire burn you? Yeah. Yeah.
It's interesting just to watch and actually take, okay, my dad. But it's rare that we actually, wow, what am I actually talking about? Am I talking about a feeling? Is my dad a feeling? Is my dad a memory? You know what? It's like, I'm just curious. There's no right way to do it or not. It's just interesting to see what happens unless I think of your dad. Okay, nice invitation. What is my dad?
Mm.
Same thing if I say, think of you. What's you?
Mm. Mm. Yeah, that's me. Mm.
Am I my body? Am I my breath? Am I my thoughts? Am I my experience? Am I my memories? What is me? You can see none of them actually.
None of them. Mm. Mm.
If I lose my teeth, am I still me? If I, my hair, what?
Mm.
Doesn't leave much.
Mm. Right now, nothing is left.
Yeah. Lovely.
Thank you very much. I think.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Mm.
Carla, did you want to come back or are you done?
Thank you, Isaac. I have no words right now. I
Okay.
lost the track a little bit, but
That's
I enjoy.
fantastic.
But
Yeah,
I
fantastic.
enjoy your conversation.
Yeah, beautiful.
Thank you. I miss your coming to Hamburg.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember you from Hamburg. Yeah. Yeah. Lovely to see you. Summer.
Hello?
Hello? Is somebody who's
Me,
speaking?
Monica. Monica,
Hi, Monica.
can you see me?
Monica, I'm just at the moment. I'm with Sana. When I'm done with her, I'll let you know, and then I'm happy to be
Sorry,
with
I
you.
thought you were said that, but then I couldn't. No, that's fine. I couldn't hear anyone talking. Sorry, my bad. Okay,
No worries.
sorry.
No worries. But somehow seeing this happening and interpreting what's being seen, all of those just going on in the background comes. And it's funny, both of our eyes see differently. It's like if you ever do like close one eye and back, the whole world jumps around. It's like it's not in the same place when you look through different eyes. And kind of get an amalgamation, and we look through both eyes and we see something. We think that's where everything is. So who are you?
There's exploration and confusion and enjoying it. I don't know. Who are you?
There are just these different activities going on, yeah?
Mm.
And any of those activities you?
No, no. I was looking for the answer, but the looking was not. No.
Mhm. Yeah. Deeper than what you're feeling, deeper than what you're experiencing, deeper than the thought and feeling, any interpretation.
Mm. Mm. Thank you, Isaac.
Yeah.
Mm.
So. Okay. Well, they can be slow one to.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
I just put my video.
Can you yeah, great.
I just want to say a report from speaking with you yesterday.
Cool.
Yeah. So I mean, it's it's baby steps, but it's so it's similar to what everyone's been speaking about as well. So similar theme tonight. So this morning I wake up, you know, from a relationship breakup, just so people get context. The last couple of mornings, you know, heavy emotions in the morning, but then this morning, still that was all there, and I don't know, but somehow I was already in thought about what it was. You know, it's just bad, basically bad. It's bad. And then the thought was, I don't want to feel this. And then the next thought, which was good, which is new, came up and it said, hold on, but you are feeling it. This is reality. This is here. You know, this is it. This is what's here. So it was just like this openness and this willingness just to, like it was, you know, because I think you said to me yesterday, what's easier? Is it easier to be here in this moment, or is it easier to follow all those thoughts? And it's actually much easier just to be with what is, but we're so conditioned to not do that. Like if we're not feeling good as a kid, you know, do this, feel that, oh, why aren't you happy? Or here you go, you know, like always fixing. So we're taught that whole society does that, fixes how we feel. It's like everything's based on that, feeling good, yeah. But so then my day was, you know, much better today, and yeah, everything was easier and lighter and all just because I opened to what was there this morning. And you know, and even you said there's some sensations and then there's the thoughts get intertwined, all the emotions, but even having the thought of what it was, it didn't stop it, you know, like it's still, yeah. So it was beautiful. That's all. I just wanted to share that with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, cool. Happy to hear.
Oh, sorry, my video wasn't on.
No
Thank
worries.
you.
Andrea. Hey. Oh, Christina.
Hi.
Hey, Christina.
Feeling a lot of peace right now, but also this sensation of like feeling like I'm going to pass out a bit.
Hello.
Hey, Rishi.
Hey. I'm something you spoke with Anke started some exploration here. You mentioned that we have sensations, and then it was easy to confirm that emotions are a layer over the sensations, or added upon the sensations, and so are thoughts. And then I was looking, when I happens, like the activity of I, it doesn't feel like a sensation, nor like an emotion. It feels like a thought. It kind of just pops in, pops out, and so then I was wondering, is is a body, for sensations to happen, a body is needed, because that's what, at least it feels like they're being perceived through the senses, sensations. There's some, can be a subtle body, but there's kind of a, even energetic sensations are kind of, but then I thought, is I connected to the body?
So slow that down for a second. Now. What you're calling a body, how do you know that there's a bodying activity there? Just really slow that down. Take the time. Yeah.
Activity.
Yeah. You sense it.
I sense it in a different way. Just like I sense that it's something showing up in awareness. It's like, it's a
Yeah. So
concept.
just, yeah. So right in this moment, there's an activity called body. Just taking a few moments. How do we sense that? Touch, smell, see, hearing.
It's bleeping out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. So we can, we can say that the sensations appear in the body, but I'm not sure that a sensation can have another sensation.
Oh,
Like, taking a moment just to explore, like seeing is happening. Okay, so where does it take place? Can we track it back through the eyes to where? And then it's interesting because, like, the seeing has been conditioned to see objects, but when our eyes are like holes that the light just comes in, that also changes things. It's like that. So somehow we see in our brain maybe seeing happens, but actually we can't locate where seeing happens. So it's just this sense of the, okay, light is coming in, and usually it's within the dualistic habit of attention that sees everything as objects, doesn't experience everything as information just appearing in who we are. It's so conditioned to put name and form on it, yeah.
actually, even seeing is an interpretation, because it's mostly light coming in.
Light coming in, yeah. And then, And like I say, it's like we have this idea that like both eyes are seeing the same thing, but actually it's not true. Both eyes see differently. You say one eye is the emotional eye, one eye is the will eye, and if you start to really play around, you can see there's different feelings depending on which eye we're looking through. It's like, yeah, so it's because it goes to the other side of the brain, and so who knows? I mean, it's like but just experientially, it's just, like we know the simple thing that the world jumps around when you do that, it's like it's not in the same place. But then you can get more subtle, like when I'm looking through one eye like this, but the color's the same as when I look through the side. Sometimes there's a difference in sharpness, sometimes there's subtle differences in feeling and perception. So all appearing in this moment, but we can't quite say where. And we can't quite say where this moment begins and ends. And then we have a sense of me, so we say it appears in me, or in the body, but we think we have a clear idea of where the body begins and ends, but it's,
That's also an interpretation.
yeah.
Without interpretation, there is no boundaries neither to the body nor to the senses, nor to the experience.
Yeah. But again, that habit of attention that's so familiar, it's really been with us most of our life, that it doesn't get questioned much. It's just like, it's such a default setting, you could say.
It seems like the body shows up the same way that anything else does, the same way that the eye activity shows up.
Yeah.
So it's all I can identify.
And then, and then we can say like, yeah, like the equipment that we call our eyes sees something, but there's like so much information, and our senses just pick up a tiny little band of information because there's X-rays and ultraviolet and like all other kind of magnetic, and so at a certain level there's just atoms and electrons and neutrons and everything just floating around, but our senses are tuned to see at a certain frequency, you could say. And so that's the sense of reality that we inhabit or live in. Time-based, somehow time is linear, and I mean, there's a whole bunch of conditioned suppositions that so familiar, so familiar, they don't usually show up on our radar. It's just like, okay.
So I is a supposition. It feels like I is a supposition.
Yeah, for sure.
but the sensations, I mean, maybe sensations are much more subtle than actually the body sensations. They're just the experiencing, the very fact that something's showing up.
Information, in a certain way we can say it's information that are like of the total amount of information in this moment, our system is wired, I guess, for its survival to pick up on this little band of information. But this, we're not aware of TV waves, of microwaves, of Bluetooth. I mean, there's some, we're sitting here and there's all this stuff going on, I mean, we kind of, okay, yeah, I think I know what the hell's going on. So, and it's like, it's so interesting. You take a couple of micrograms, a microgram, you can't even see it, of substance called LSD, and then you just see, wow, suddenly you're seeing the air molecules or whatever else, it's like it's so much is usually filtered out because it's not, somehow it isn't deemed relevant to survival. And apparently, like when you take something like LSD, it doesn't do anything. It just releases your own chemicals. So, it's like it's suddenly just, your brain is just perceiving through a whole different.
So that's very easy to recognize that the body chemistry changes our perception or changes our experience.
Good night's sleep, upset, all changes perception.
And it influences the quality of thoughts also. I can see that when there's
completely, the quality of thoughts influences the body, and the body, like how well rested the body is, whether it's had a just recent upset or any of those things, whether it's, it's like all affects the quality of thinking. It's like it's like a kind of awe or gratitude or worship or whatever, or meeting the moment of the beloved that opens up, and it's like, oh wow, it's just love everywhere, light everywhere. It's just everything's connected.
it's an interesting way to explore, because when everything is just seen as information or content in awareness, there's this sense of unity and enoughness in a way. It's resting. But when something tries to explore the I don't know, when it kind of separates between thought and body or anything like this, I don't know, I have no idea what's going on. It's really like,
It's so interesting, and who does that? I mean, all that happens is a little shift, and then suddenly we're literally living in a different universe. It's like it's a universe of upset, a universe of right and wrong, of good and bad.
and it's actually just the movement of attention or focus. But it's not, it's like a wind blowing. It can take its turns, and there's not really something directing it or steering the attention.
at some point there's like a kind of a noticing, wait, where the attention goes and how it goes there produces the sense of me in the universe that appear to be inhabiting, and then like that starts refining itself and going, wait a second, what quality of attention here is wide and spacious, and it's like I've given that invitation of just imagining the eyes being holes and the light just coming in, because the eyes are such a predominant sense and so conditioned to see as objects. And when there's just like the eyes are open like that, and light is just coming in, something interesting happens in the whole system just from that simple little play, you could say.
It's nice because it shows that the apparent separation between objects and perceptions, it's just a filter in perception.
It's the habit of attention.
Yeah. It's crazy because like there's no way anyone would choose to have a different quality of focus than just, but somehow it comes back. It's like a cow that finds this beautiful green fresh pasture but still goes there to eat the trash. So I have no idea, but that's beautiful.
Thanks, Rick.
Thank you.
Michael. Hi.
Yeah, Isaac. There's this longing that wakes up, but I feel the longing is kind of mixed with a sense of like the eye that misses the light or something like that. So I'm kind of inquiring into the awareness of that.
I always like to joke, and so I came up with one moment, this idea. This moment is as God as it gets. It doesn't get more God than this, yeah. Whatever God is.
It brings me to this kind of takes me beyond the sense of like what you were talking about before, like the boundary. Feels like well, the boundary of what I think I am. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Bettina, for hosting. Thank you, beloveds, for being here. Love, peace, beauty.